Hey everyone, my name is Feng, and today we're doing a quick video on how to use the mob battle mod. So the mob battle mod is a mod used to make mobs fight, which is all implied in the name. But like you see, we have more than one tool to make the mob fight, so we'll go through every one of them and see what they can do. So let's start with the most simple one, the mob enrager. And as it says, left click to assign an entity, right click to reset. So if you have two mobs, you can left click to one, first entity set, hit another entity to set target, so it will enrage the mob towards this mob. Simple as that. And then you can use the mob killer to simply kill the mob. The mob enrager will only set the aggro of the mobs so they can get de-aggroed by something else. Then there's the mob enrager multi, which gives the possibility to aggro more than one mob to another mob. So left click to select entities, right click on entity to set the target, and shift right click to reset. So let's say we have 4 zombies, added an entity, and then we have the 4. If we put the other one, and we right click him, all the other entities, mobs, will attack him. You're only limited to 1. Then there's the mob healer, which left click and you heal a mob. And then comes the more complicated part, which is the one that I'm often asked about, is the team staff, team rod, or whatever you call it. So it says right here, right click block to set first, and then second corner of the box. Right click into the air to add entities in the box to the team with the name of this item. If exists, else default. Shift right click to reset, left click to add entity to the team with the name of this stick. So you have to rename on an anvil 2 different sticks. Right now it's team 1, team 2. Let's reset the box. I would suggest not to put a space or 2 words in the name, because if you go in the... we'll get to the commands later, but if you go and type team, if you want to modify the team, and then you go on like team 1, you see there's a problem, there's a space here. Normally the team is in 1 word, like even if team dragon here, there's a problem. I cannot modify the team because of the space, so if it will work with the space, but you won't be able to modify the team. So let's add this one to team 2 and this one to team 1. Now they want to fight, and the thing is, with the team, they will always keep their team, so even after the mob is dead, they will try to target other member of the opposing team. And you can have as much team as you want, if I think. So with the team, you can also set up a box. So let's say we want this corner here and this corner here. It will create team 1, so you can do team 2 here. And now every mobs that is in the box, once you right click in the air, will be added to the team of the name of the stick. So if you add 2 teams together, that's how you make 2 team fight. One thing to know though is when you add a group of mob to a team, they will target one other member of the other team, and there's nothing you can do to remove the aggro. So he will go through every other mobs or every danger, it doesn't care. It will try to reach the targets. So sometimes if the target is in the back or not accessible, it will just continuously try to hit it as long as it's alive. Let's continue with the other items and we'll get to the commands later for the team. A simple one is the armor editor. You can right click a mob and add armor, weapons. Some of them you will see the item, like a zombie. If you put armor on a zombie, you will or weapons, you will see it on the model, but some mobs won't have a model like this. So let's say we summon a Stardust Ram, and we want to give him a netherite chestplate. You obviously won't see it, but if you look here, the armor is still counting. It will get a boost in armor. So you can still give weapon and armor to mobs. It will just not show, but it will be there. Then we have the mob equip rod or staff, which is not the same as armor editor. This will allow a mob to pick up items. So you have to right click a corner and then right click another corner. It will set up a box. Please get in the box. Thank you. And then once you right click, entity in box can now pick up items. So if I give him with an axe, there we go, he took it. The mob mount is a simple tool. You just left click a mob and left click another mob, and there we go, it's mounted. You can even take the bottom mob from already stacked mob and just put it on top and make the highest tower you've ever seen. Then we have the effect giver. So if we right click here, there's a really dark UI. Then you can give potion effects. So let's say we give speed, duration 100 seconds. Gathering from the future here, it's not seconds but ticks. Amplifier 10 with particles or not. So now when you left click a mob, the mob will be applied. And then there's the effect remover, which is a stick with a milk bucket on top. You just left click on a mob and every effect will be cleared. And now I think I'm at one of the most useful tool of this mod, because it can save a lot of time when you try to set up battle that has some complicated stuff. The mob spawner. It's a simple egg that can replicate any mobs that has been summoned in the game. So if there's mob that can't be summoned normally with spawn egg, this thing can replicate it. So let's say we have a zombie. If you left click it, you now have a zombie in your spawn egg, and you can just spawn zombies. Simple, right? So you can also save the NBT data. So let's say I give this zombie an netherite chestplate, and I control or shift for crouching left click. Every zombie will now have a chestplate. And you can also change the attribute. If you change the attribute, if you give him some commands or stuff, it will keep it in the NBT data, so you will have a zombie with the gear or the attribute or anything that you gave him before. But there is one thing that will bypass this, and if it's the zombie has, or if the mob has a weapon. Let's say for example that you give this skeleton a punch 1 bow, and then you go and save its NBT data. The basic bow of the skeleton will overwrite what you have saved on this one. But not only that, if you put your difficulty to, let's say, hard, and the local difficulty is high enough, which it is in this world, some of the mob will start to spawn with armor, and enchanted armor. So you see, we have projectile protection 4, which is high, and unbreaking 3. Good. So now let's summon another mob. And this mob will have the same... Oh, you see, there we go. Unbreaking 3, protection 3, unbreaking 3. So this is a little bug that will happen. So if we keep summoning the same type of zombies, every time a new enchantment is applied, it will just stack and create this monstrosity of enchantment on your zombie, and you'll have the most powerful zombie ever. The other thing you can do with this egg, so let's say we have more than one, you can rename the egg. So this one will be called Mob 1. Okay, I had to kill everything because it was not clear to see what I was showing. So now the mob will try to fight, because the name of the egg will put them in the team that they are summoned with. So now we've covered everything that the item can do. Now let's look at the commands, okay? This is so far what I know about the commands. I'm not an expert. This is just by trial and errors and reading stuff left and right. You can do /team, so you can add a team, empty a team, so no one is in the team anymore. You can make a mob or yourself join a team. You can make something leave a team. You can have the list of the team, but the problem is you can remove team. But if you set a team with a space, you cannot remove it anymore. In this world, I'm stuck with this team. I cannot remove it. But the team that doesn't have space, you can remove them like that. I just removed team 1. It doesn't exist anymore. But one of the most useful thing is team modify. If you choose a team and you want to modify it, there's most of the stuff that is only used for players, but the thing you really want is friendly fire. Friendly fire you can set it to false, so we can remove all friendly fire within the same team, which means that mobs that always hit the other team members will not do it anymore. So this can change the balance between victory or defeat of a team. And that's probably it. But this is the thing that I've learned doing mob battle on Sathariel Battle Channel. So I hope it's been useful. I hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments if I missed something. Maybe you know something that I don't, so I can add it later, or I can pin your comment. Other than that, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!